Welcome to the Palace of Megapixels. This is Super Mega Grand Brothers Turbo.
And welcome to Super Mega Crash Brothers Turbo. I'm your host, Stephen White, and with me, as always, Todd Stark.
Hello.
And we have a very special guest today in the Palace of Megapixels. Please welcome Twitch streamer Ezilii. Am I saying that correctly? Ezilii? Because I've heard other people say it other ways.
Hello, guys. How are you?
We're doing good.
Well.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Had a productive day.
Yes, you were just telling us about that. YouTube videos. You've got a lot of YouTube videos that you've been doing a lot lately. Are they all just reviews, or is it just video playthroughs?
It's a mix. It's a mix of reviews. I've done Frostpunk and Surviving Mars reviews as official because they're new titles. Mm-hmm. I've been doing more YouTube content because I've made it to Twitch Partner, and now let's work on YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah, get them all.
So,
right.
As we're getting into this, I'm going to go through our stream of questions as I usually do with our guests. First, tell everyone a little bit about yourself who might not be familiar with you.
Well, I'm a full-time content creator and Twitch partner, and I'm currently making more YouTube content, but I do still stream. I think this last stream was 45 hours, and that's even taking one evening off, and that's within 4 days of streaming. I stream Monday through Thursday now, twice daily, which is kind of crazy. And I'm an avid city strategy manager, builder type game player.
Now, what actually got you interested into streaming?
Actually, that's a rather funny story. I started streaming because I was playing World of Warcraft at the time.
Okay.
It's like everybody's gateway drug, right?
Right.
World of Warcraft. And the new expansion, which was Legion, which is now wrapping up in World of Warcraft land, was coming out, and I was at BlizzCon they have a community amphitheater where you just kind of hang out and they have a discussion on game design and what they're going to do with certain things. And they happened to be talking about my class, which was a disciplined priest. I was like, oh, what are you saying? Well, traditionally, disciplined priests late in an expansion have always been OP, where if you take one disc priest, you can reduce your healing team by like 3 other healers on a full raid. And that's been a problem and contentment in the world of Warcraft, pun very intended. And at that moment, I was like, well, they're going to be looking for somebody to actually beta test. And I used to raid at a world first pace with Vodka and some other high-end raiding guilds. So I streamed so I could record my content a little easier and tell the devs, hey, I'm going to be live if you want to see me beta test this. And they would pop in. So that's what started. But then I realized as I was doing my own thing, when I went back to kind of watch my favorites again, a lot of the communities changed. So I wanted to build a positive space for people to feel like they belong. And thus, I'm still here.
Nice. That's a pretty amazing story. I don't think anyone's given us a good story like that one before.
So basically, WoW got me into it, and now I don't play WoW at all, and I don't stream WoW.
There you go. Now, was Twitch your first choice to stream as far as a platform?
Twitch was my first choice. It is my only choice to actually stream on. YouTube is my choice for my recorded content, and that's mostly because YouTube has better SEO quality at the moment. I don't know if that's something down the road that Twitch is going to do, but if you type into anything in any search engine, YouTube's going to come up somewhere first.
Very true. Now, from what I've seen, and kind of like what you've said, your streams are kind of consistent of city builders like City Skylines, Planet Coaster, now even Frostpunk. Was that something you intended from the start, or do you just really love these games and that's just kind of what you started?
So when I started full-time streaming in 2016, I flipped to, well, when I say full-time, I mean I had a schedule. I flipped to cities because cities is something that I could pick up and put down. I'm not limited on waiting for people to gather to go do a dungeon or a raid or something. It solely relies on me, and I could set, this is how long I'm going to stream, and this is what I'm going to do, and knock it out and go forward. So that game is a lot easier, and games like that, it's a lot easier to stream. But I am a victim of just give me 5 more minutes. Just give me 5 more minutes. Everything is just give me 5 more minutes. I could do 5 more minutes.
Mm-hmm.
And 5 more minutes turns into a 12, 13, 14-hour stream.
Mm-hmm.
Because I keep going, right?
Right.
It's like, oh, I could put that. Yeah, I just need 5 more minutes. And I'm thinking to myself, I should have been done like 12 hours ago.
Sure.
Thank God I only full-time stream.
For sure. Now, you said that you made Twitch partner recently. How difficult was that process for you?
It's pretty difficult. It's something that it's not for the faint of heart. You have to stick with it. You're going to have a lot of roller coasters. I'm currently on a kind of a downswing, but that's the nature of the beast, and that's perfectly okay to have those. But the thing that's going to drive people crazy is they get ever so close to partnership. Anytime you're close to it, you have to make very difficult decisions. Do I stick with what's working, or do I try something new? Well, more than likely you're gonna try something new at some point, but it depends on when you try something new. If you're so close to that threshold, you're gonna stick with what's working at the risk of getting burnt out.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So if you've been playing the same game for 9-10 months, and you've built your audience from 0 to 80 or higher, are you going to want to play that game afterwards? So it was difficult for me only because I want to play so many different games, but somewhere along the lines I did actually make that decision. I'm going to stick with Cities, Planet Coaster, and Sims, but then I mostly just stuck to Cities as it came crunch time when I got into the application window. But Cities always has an audience somewhere because Cities Skylines itself is always growing. And my advice to somebody who's looking to start building a community, to pick one game that has an established community of itself. I had probably about 6 denials. Mm-hmm. And then I had a conversation with somebody who I know who works at Twitch. And I said offhandedly, I was like, I just got denied again. And I'm probably not going to apply until I have 1,000 viewers or next December, whichever comes first. And 2 weeks later, I got rated by Twitch staff,
nice,
saying I was partnered.
Very cool.
That's pretty awesome.
Now, you said that communities kind of play a part in that. Now, I've noticed you've got a very established community. Your community seems very tight-knit. Would you say that they were kind of a byproduct of those games, or was that just something that happened on its own naturally?
It's both, because like city management strategy, single player type games of natures like that, where you're building stuff, it's more about, I build it to share with people. Like, here's a screenshot of my city, and people support you that way because they're always sharing things with each other. And that is already established, a little more so than, oh, hey, I just got a chicken dinner. Yay, congratulations. Mm-hmm. And then everybody else is like, well, I can't get one. I've played this game for 500 hours. I still can't get one. You have like that animosity built in between a PvP game. So that helped. But then it's also the nature of myself. My whole goal is to build a community. And my whole goal is to build a community for a positive force. There's a lot of negativity in the world, and I want to counteract that.
I love hearing that, because you're absolutely right. We have way too much negativity, and positive places to hang out and be with your friends is always a good thing. And your streams have always been pretty positive and great every time I've been in there. So
yeah, unless I'm sick, then I just get quiet.
Now, with partnership in the bag, you got your YouTube that you're building. Is there any other goals that you're aiming for right now?
That's actually like my biggest hurdle right now. My goal is to find a goal.
Okay.
Other than just to keep going, like keep going and keep building. I don't like to it. goals have to be something that are obtainable, achievable, and measurable, right? You can't set an unrealistic goal. I did set a goal. So with the charity, so one thing would be to raise more charity. With the charity stream that Epic Streamers was involved in, that we all did, my personal goal was $500. And that turned into more than $1,000. And I just kept upping it to make sure that, I want to achieve more, but I didn't want to set the expectation of like $7,000. We're going to raise $7,000 when the whole overall goal was $4,000. We could do that. I have no doubt that with enough time I could do that. But I guess another goal that I would have would be to raise more money for charity. I'm currently doing $1 per sub for charity. So if somebody subscribes, there's $1 of that goes to charity.
Very cool. That's a great idea.
But yeah, I don't have a goal, and that's like I'm in this weird limbo. I've not had this position in my life where I didn't know what I want yet.
Yeah, I'm sure something will come around. It'll hit you like a ton of bricks and be like, that's it. That's what I got to do.
It always does.
Well, I know what I want. I want to rearrange my studio, but that's like a day.
Right. All right. Well, we're glad to have you here, and I guess I'm going to ask you our very first question of the show. Last question for you. What have you been playing lately outside of Frostpunk, since we know you've been playing that?
So Frostpunk is a big one. Surviving Mars came out recently, and that's been a huge one. I've been really active in both of those two game communities. And then Planet Coaster had an update called Studios Pack, which allows you to make Hollywood studio-esque type parks where you can have some, let's say, stunt things where cars are flipping over, they're tumbling, they're exploding. You can have explosions, green screens, and camera crews, and if you've seen like the Hollywood tours, you have those little tour buses that walk around that are open that drive you through the back lot. You have that as a new ride. So it's been those three, and then soon I'm going to be focusing again on cities because there's going to be a DLC that drops, and I'm putting together a 12-hour stream for that launch party.
Nice.
And there's a couple other games. The Jurassic World Evolution comes out soon, so I'll probably be hitting that up for sure because the people that make that make Planet Coaster. And then I still have yet to finish my Witcher 3 playthrough.
Really? Sounds like this guy.
Yeah, me either. I haven't either.
All right. Todd, you've been playing what?
God of War.
God of War still.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've been watching those streams. Oh, they're so good. That game is so good.
It's so good. I wish I could talk about it with somebody, but
Well,
he
I'm
hasn't
sorry.
played
I
it
told
yet.
you I've got a backlog I'm trying to catch up on before
It's
I
okay
add
though,
another.
because
But watching that game, it inspired me to finish Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, yeah.
I love that game too.
Yeah, that was a great one.
I am so behind.
I hear you.
It happens so fast too.
Because there's so
I
many
know.
good games that come out, and you just feel like you've got to catch up, and then you can't play the other games because you're playing the new one.
I just trade them in. Like I get one, I'm like, I'm never gonna play this game. I'm gonna get $40 for it, and then I'll buy it again for $12 later and play it.
Right, just so you can have it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got the itch or something, to get it. Yeah. Yeah.
Happens every time.
Well, I've been trying to catch up on Watch Dogs 2. I'm really focused on the story instead of the side missions, so I
Yep.
think I'm
She'll play
making.
God of War.
I feel like I'm making headway on that. So that's what we're
Maybe
playing.
that's my goal. Finish
Yeah.
all the games I haven't finished.
There you go. Now you've got a goal.
Congratulations.
Yay! We've set one. All right, let's get into some news and get some opinions, guys. First of all, the first few stories that I have actually involve lawsuits, believe it or not.
Nice.
Our first story is Valve has actually been ordered to pay a $3 million fine after a high court in Australia dismissed the company's appeal against the ruling that stated that they were in violation of Australian consumer law by engaging in, quote, misleading or deceptive conduct and made false or misleading representations, end quote, in regards to their refund policy. Now, this is in reference to refunds to digitally downloaded games via Steam's website or their Steam client.
Was it just No Man's Sky?
You think? Valve argued that games distributed through Steam are not classified as goods according to Australian consumer law. However, the High Court disagreed, stating that the transaction of funds for a product still takes place, and any consumer who purchases a faulty product is entitled to a replacement or refund, physical or not. And I kind of feel like them saying that it's not a good.
What is that? I mean,
Yeah,
like, it's crazy.
You made a purchase. It's despite it not being an actual physical piece of hardware, it's still a good. You've made a purchase. You've made a transaction.
Exactly. Like when I get something from Naughty Dog, they got the goods, so I go get it.
Right. So I can't really agree with Valve here. I kind of agree with the Australian High Court. It's a good. It might be digital, but it's still a good. You purchase something.
Oh, Gabe was trying to get extra cheeseburgers.
So, yeah, I'm kind of on Australia's side with that one.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
The next one actually comes from Quantic Dream, who is suing two French media outlets, Le Monde and Mediapart, which ran stories that stated numerous members of the development team on Detroit Become Human claimed to be overworked, and the work environment was filled with racist, homophobic, and sexist behavior. David Cage, who is CEO of Quantic Dream, said that these claims are ridiculous, absurd, and grotesque and have no place within the company. Do you think it's true?
I feel like that would have, if that was the case, you would have heard way more and way sooner. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Easily, what do you think?
So the charge is that they have, they're discriminating, right?
Yes.
Is that the official charge? I mean, people could be silent for a while. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff. There's just a lot of stuff going on. I was watching the news today, just like waking up, and they're talking about Tom Brokaw having a sexual harassment lawsuit. I'm like,
yeah.
I think you could file one on any dude, though.
What?
Exactly. I mean, Tom Brokaw, of all people, would be the last person in the world, but there it is.
Well, I mean, we don't know. Like, it's not like we were there. I think that I think that we're in a very, very peculiar spot in our history as people. People are being encouraged to speak up more, which is good. But the downside is sometimes I think some people might be doing it because they want to get on the bandwagon, which is the mob mentality. If there's any truth to this, I'm sure that it will come out. But it's just hard to believe that it's as prevalent. Well, I guess it's not as hard to believe. I've been the victim or recipient of some of that, but I don't know. It's just, I feel that there's more excess of claims that are going around than what there might really be, even though I think that could be wrong to think. But I think people are jumping on the bandwagon.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and that's...
people need to kind of not like accept discrimination and inequality, but people need to have logic and reasoning and not mob mentality.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's where it gets kind of crazy to try and understand who to believe sometimes, because when you don't believe the victim, then you feel like you're dismissing their claims, which is something that a lot of people have done. But when you have these people who come forward and it just becomes more and more common, you start to wonder who's telling the truth and who's not. And it creates a very hard dichotomy.
Yeah.
So you want to believe the victims every time.
Right. And I want to yell at people who've done it, but and what's more upsetting is that when it's droves of people that come from one, like Bill Cosby.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, just like Bill Cosby.
Like, wow.
I mean, that was a hard pill to swallow for a while. It really was.
You know? I defended him for a minute. And then after all the stuff come out, I was like, nope, sorry, Bill, I can't be on your bandwagon no more.
Well, I mean, so the Me Too movement is powerful, and it unites, and it gives people a voice, and it gives a little hope and encouragement. But at the same time, there are things that go on in our world where I can't have free speech on a college campus because I might offend somebody.
Yeah.
We now have a development of the I'm offended culture when if I have one belief and you have another belief, the way we come to an understanding is if we have to have a discussion. And I can only have a discussion if you're willing to sit there and listen.
Right.
Yeah, definitely no one wants to have a conversation anymore. It's always yelling.
You know who did it right? Louis C.K. He just came right out and said, yeah, I did it. I pulled my thing out right in front of those women.
Yeah.
I told them they could leave. It didn't make it any right, but you don't even talk about him anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he just kind of
came right out
You're
and said
just
it.
done.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I screwed up. I mean, it cost him a movie, but, you know.
It's out in the open. He
It's
got
in
it
the
over
open, it's
with.
done. You don't have to just move on from that. Do better next time.
Yeah. So, I don't know. At least the next one is not about any more of this. Yeah, it's that's all day. The next one is the Netherlands Gaming Authority conducted a study on loot box systems in games and have now concluded that 4 out of every 10 loot boxes are in violation of the law.
Boom,
And
arrest them.
prohibited according to the Betting and Gaming Act. They state that since coincidence determines the content and the content can then be traded outside the game, said content has value, therefore making it illegal to offer such a game without a license. So a few of the games listed on the study were FIFA 18, PUBG, and Rocket League. The Gaming Authority wants to also restrict what they call addiction-sensitive elements, which I never really thought about until I read into it. It's when music plays or they shoot off little fireworks when you open the boxes.
Yeah.
That never occurred to me, but yeah, there's that sense of reward when you do that.
Yeah, on Call of Duty, it goes
And
something like, all
that's-
right.
Yeah, so they want to restrict that as well because it gives you that sense of winning a prize. So with these new
But
policies in
that's the whole
place...
point.
So, yeah, exactly.
That you
Digital
get that
fireworks.
So with these new provisions in place, the Gaming Authority is giving game providers until June 20th to make the necessary adjustments before legal action will take place.
Is that just in the Netherlands?
That's just in the Netherlands. That's my
Damn.
question, though. Do you think this will go worldwide?
I hope so. I hope so, dude. I don't like loot boxes in that sense. If I can understand if you something that I can unlock in the game, but you could pay 99 cents and go ahead and get it.
Yeah.
Kind of like what you were saying for, I think, Injustice. The same way. If I I want that now.
Yeah.
99 cents. Boom. You got it. I know what I'm getting. Those are okay. But you can really mess it up. Like, easy.
Well, wasn't it Battlefield 2?
Yeah.
Was that not the Jedi, the
Oh, no,
Battlefront.
Battlefront, yeah.
Yeah, they screwed that up so bad.
Wasn't that like the one that? Yeah, sorry, you could tell I really play those games. Wasn't that kind of like the kickoff moment?
Pretty
of
much.
this whole anti-gambling thing.
Yeah.
Right?
It's the one that really started the movement.
Like,
It did.
so.
That was crazy.
Well, I don't know because didn't you get? I mean, you would get loot boxes in Overwatch, and you would get some like prizes or something and heroes, right?
Yeah,
So
but for
Blizzard
whatever
was already
reason-
doing something. But like with Blizzard, if I wanted to, I could buy, just as was said earlier, I could spend my dollar on that champion, right? Similar to League of Legends, I can spend my money to buy something to get a champion, as opposed to just randomly earn stuff and unlock it. In late game of League, don't you collect champion shards or something, and you put them
Something like
together? Or you could spend money. My husband has spent money on League, and I mean that's fine. It helps the development. But the outright gambling that was pretty much just put forth in Battlefront 2 was like, wow,
it was just
I
obvious.
have a 1 in 1 millionth chance to improve my character.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
That was a developer taking it a step too far.
Yeah.
Like they wanted to see how
Oh.
far they could test the waters.
I'm just glad I'm glad that this one time that the gaming community is as vocal as it is, because that would have screwed everything up.
For sure.
Well, as far as it going worldwide, yeah, probably, because kids play games. And gambling is also an addiction. But at the same time, the reason why we play games is we get that sense of reward. We get that shot of accomplishment, right?
Sure.
When we get something, playing WoW when the boss dies, yay, and getting that mount I farmed for 4 years and 32 days and 21 hours and 42 minutes and 36 seconds of playtime, and I finally got it. I felt really good.
That's a long time.
Yeah, I bet.
I'd have stopped it a week.
Yeah.
I ain't doing it no more walk.
All right, the next story I've got, and I'm definitely going to want some opinions on this one because this was something I kind of picked up last minute. Amazon has renewed its partnership with the NFL to bring 11 Thursday night football games back to Amazon Prime Video. However, those same games will be available to watch on Twitch so viewers can interact with other football fans. Now, the NFL has tried this avenue before on Twitter, but there was no success, or at least not the success they were hoping for. But with Twitch, this gives a platform designed for interactivity, and the NFL hopes to provide members with a unique experience with numerous interactive features to engage fans on a deeper level. Do you think this is a good idea? Not just for engagement's sake, but the NFL on Twitch.
Yeah, I don't see no problem.
Sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Here's why. And there's been a few larger YouTube content creators jump to Twitch. Obvious reasons, right? Sometimes they feel a little slighted. Their revenue might be down, or they're getting kind of blindsided by some demonetization. All the content creator concerns and gripes that most of us have. Suddenly they find themselves just wanting to do something new. So as some people have come over, there's been a lot of negativity around those people coming over to Twitch as a whole. Mm-hmm. And it was pretty prevalent on Twitter. But the idea is that if we look at the numbers and we look at who goes where and how many people do what, YouTube is a huge website, and Twitch is maybe 1/120th of it. Mm-hmm. Right? So bring the NFL to Twitch is going to bring more people to Twitch, or at least interested in, I could watch the game while I'm at work on a computer. I don't have a TV, but I have to work Thursday night. They can now watch the game on Twitch for free.
It's a good call.
Because if it's on Twitch, you don't need the Amazon Prime.
Right.
Right? Mm-hmm. You could just watch it. So, hey, now that I'm on this website, what else does it have? It's got football. Oh, look, here's competitive esports. Oh, I didn't know people could do this.
That's a good argument. All right. Yeah. I can take that, yeah. Because I was curious how people would react.
That website, bam.
Mm-hmm. No, that's a definitely good argument for that. Because I'm sure others will not see it the same way. They're going to see it as a negative. Oh, they're taking my audience and whatnot. But I mean, what you're saying is a valid point. You're bringing more eyes to it. Therefore, there's a better shot that you can be seen.
And plus, they can.
Well, yes, but go ahead.
I'm sorry. They could run ads too, so they could make money that way. Getting people, just in Twitch, and then instead of the regular commercials on Channel 5 or wherever it's playing at, also, promote Amazon.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and the people that say they're taking my viewers away are looking at content creation and the whole industry of content creation completely wrong.
Yeah.
It is a community. Twitch is a community. YouTube is a community, and we're all in it together. And when you have that competitive streak, I get it because I can get competitive and I can start comparing numbers and all that stuff. But you have to be on the lookout for what's good for the community. Mm-hmm. And when a larger broadcaster jumps into the game directory that I happen to be in, I might be a Twitch partner, but I'm awfully small, and that's fine. They're going to own the directory. I'm going to be buried potentially, especially when it's a hot game. I'll probably be 3, 4, 5 lines down because you'll have Dan's Gaming, you'll have Co-Carnage, you'll have a bunch of large Day 9, you'll have a whole bunch of large channels and communities jump on the game because it's launch day, and then they'll jump out. But what it does is it gets people interested in the game, and then people will follow that game directory and find other content creators when they want to know more about that game, because their go-to entertainment when they're stuck at work for the new game now isn't playing the game, and they can't get answers because the chat's too busy. So they're going to come back and they're going to find other people and get answers. So, yeah, bring it on.
Yeah. That's actually what I did when I first started Twitch, is trying to find a smaller community just to kind of get my foot, into the water, just to test it out. So, good point. All right, I got a few quick hits here.
Quick hits.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider trailer was released today, which will be Friday for everyone listening. There's a September 14th release date attached, and it's touted as the end of the beginning.
The end of the beginning.
Yeah, so I'm guessing like her origin story or whatnot. So,
this is the end of the beginning.
The beginning of the end, or the end of the beginning?
No, the end of the beginning. So I'm assuming this is supposed to be the lead up to the what would have been the original Tomb Raider. I'm guessing.
So you think they're going to do another one?
I don't know.
I think we should play it first.
Maybe, I don't know. But I don't know. I'm looking forward to it, I guess. I won't buy it day one, but I will play it.
I'll be playing Spider-Man still, probably.
That's true.
7 days before.
Yeah,
that's ballsy.
Spider-Man's gonna
I think it's gonna be a big.
with it.
I think so.
Well, I don't know. That's kind of hard because Tomb Raider has a very established base, right? There's a directory on Twitch for Tomb Raider that usually has a couple hundred people always there. But I'm kind of troubled by the trend of let's do a prequel in a video game.
Yeah. I mean, it was an interesting take on it.
Yeah.
But, it doesn't need to be done all the time.
No.
Right.
Earth Defense 4.5 is officially coming to the U.S. I don't know if I know I've talked to you about it. Are you familiar with EDF? Does it sound
I can't say that I am, yeah.
Okay. Well,
But I'm not.
I recently got introduced to it, I think, last year. It's kind of a shooter where it kind of reminds me of the movie Starship Troopers, or aliens come down and you're a trooper who has to go and just destroy all the aliens and whatnot. It's a pretty interesting game, just, fun, kind of drop in and out. I wouldn't say I'd play long sessions of it, but it's just fun to kick around with friends. So the 5th one's officially coming out over here. Sony made a mention today of jumping on the mobile gaming bandwagon.
I've seen that.
During a recent financial meeting. What do you think that's all about?
I don't know, man. I feel like they just go make games,
I think they see what Nintendo's doing and they're kind of getting worried. Because they were one of the first to say, we're never going to do mobile gaming. And now they've got, 3 or 4 out there now?
Yeah, but Sony had that big push with PlayStation Mobile, and that just did not end up well. They ended up porting them to Vita.
Well, I mean, nowadays we have mobile phones, right? They have our smartphones. I remember there was an Apple keynote when they introduced Mario Run.
Yeah,
was coming to iOS, and that was a pretty big deal because that was their first game on a mobile platform that wasn't their own hardware.
Yep.
I mean, it's more prevalent. Even Razer, which typically makes mice and keyboards, is what we usually think about them. It has a phone.
Yeah,
it's the way of the future. So, never say never. Is another example of why you should never say never.
Yeah, I think I'll say within the next year we'll probably see a game from Sony on.
Well, they had 4. With that, do you remember what I'm talking about? There was some stupid little games
like Fat Princess and.
No, not Fat Princess. And they might have had one Fat Princess game. I can't remember. I remember there was a game about bugs or germs or something like that.
I think they're still on there. I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I know
there was an Uncharted puzzle game.
Yeah, well, I don't think that was in the first group. That just came out after Uncharted 4 did.
I don't know. I mean, that shows they're not They need to step up their game because I don't
Well, they
remember.
quit. They stopped. They
Yeah.
closed that whole little PlayStation Mobile thing down. They didn't. It was just like if a game comes out mobile, it comes out. Like that. I guess.
Who knows?
Right.
Insomniac officially released the Iron Spider suit reveal for Spider-Man on the PS4, and you also got to see the homemade costume from the movie
Oh, nice.
that was on the cell phone he was swapping through. That was actually a cool feature. I don't know if it's going to be featured in the game, but he was flipping through his phone looking at his costumes, and then he pressed it, and then he was in that costume. So I'm curious if that's going to be a feature in the game.
Right.
It's a simple little thing, but I don't know. It just seemed neat on the cuff, just... There, I want that one gone. Valve acquired Firewatch developer Campo Santo this week.
Ooh,
I heard that.
So
I love that Firewatch game.
Firewatch was good.
I got that. I haven't played it. I met them at PAX. Haven't played it.
It's definitely something to get into. It's story based, I'd say.
It's almost like a walking simulator, but it's got it's got a great story.
There's a new Doom movie coming out.
It's for real, huh?
Yeah.
There was an original one. Where have I been?
Yeah. When did it come out? Like early
Late
2000?
90s, early 2000s, yeah.
It starred The Rock. It was it was forgettable. So
Yeah.
if you didn't see it, there's a good reason.
I forgot that I saw it. You said it.
There was an actress singer called Nina Bergman said she's in the film. This is how it got revealed. Said she's working with a super cool director, but she never said who it was.
Michael Bay.
Oh God. Well, the other part that goes along with that, which makes me think maybe, reportedly it's going straight to home video release.
Oh,
so they
that's
already
got Michael
don't
Bay
have
written all
a
over.
belief in it. whatsoever.
Either that or what's that one? Not Blumhouse. The ones that do all that stuff on Sci-Fi. Who are they?
Oh, the Asylum.
Yeah, it's gonna be them.
Gosh,
They're gonna do it.
they ruined Sharks for me.
Yeah, until what? The Shallows.
The Meg comes out, maybe.
God, Sharknado.
Yeah. The Sonic the Hedgehog movie logo was seen at CinemaCon,
Oh my gosh!
and it looked like Sonic the Hedgehog.
It looked just like him. He's wearing
Go
his
figure.
shoes.
Yeah, and it wasn't anything special. It was like, oh, there, that thing. Early footage of the Friday the 13th new engine running on its new updated engine was shown. The graphics didn't look all that different. It just looked darker. Like they increased the shading to it, so I think there's more emphasis on flashlights now.
Right. Well, that's cool.
So
They're trying to be like
Well,
Dead by
but what
Daylight.
if I turn on my brightness?
yeah,
Or not
see,
my brightness,
exactly.
but I adjust the gamma.
So, I don't know. I mean, that could easily work for sure because it didn't look like it was that deep in black.
That's still technically early access, is it not?
No, it's official.
It's an official full release, and they're redoing the engine. Interesting.
Yeah. Right now, I think they were actually going to release it this month, and they said they had it wasn't ready, which it's not surprising with that developer. I love the game, but they can't stay on schedule for anything. That's the only thing. The only gripe I have about them is every time they're like, "Oh yeah, we got this thing coming out," and then it's time, and you're like, "All right, where is it?" And it never happens.
They should take a lesson from Apple. You never say you have something new until you actually have something new.
Yep. And the
Keep their mouth
last
shut.
thing that I have, back to the mobile thing, is Nintendo has partnered with a new mobile developer called Cygames, and they are developing a new game called Dragalia, or Dragalia Lost, excuse me, and that's a brand new IP. So that's new for Nintendo. That a brand new IP going to a mobile device. That's uncharted territory for them.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm interested.
Straight to mobile.
Straight to mobile. So I'm kind of interested to see how that goes. Speaking of Nintendo, on June 28th, current president of Nintendo, Tatsumi Kashima, who had been more of a stand-in after the untimely passing of former president Satoru Iwata, will be stepping down, and Shintaro Furukawa will step in as the new and permanent president of the company. Furukawa has been noted as having a huge role in the success of the Switch and previously acted as the outside director of the Pokemon Company for the last 6 years. with deep background in marketing, close ties with Pokemon, and a somewhat youthful age. According to Eastern standards, 46 is young.
Yeah, it's young. Because I'm pretty close to it, so it's young.
Okay. Well, I mean, they feel like that's a young age for someone to take over as CEO. I feel like that's okay. Like, it doesn't sound young to me, but whatever.
It's probably an appropriate age.
Yeah, absolutely. So it'll be interesting to see in what direction he'll take the company. I would probably say if he had a huge hand in the success of the Switch, that's probably what got him the job. Because it's been a marketing cash cow for them.
Yeah, it has. That was the thing I worried about with Sony, like mobile. Are you going to like dive into a Vita again and forget about the PS4? You just start putting your eggs in too many baskets, Mm-hmm. I hate when they do that.
Maybe
but
not.
If they're just talking about a cell phone, I'm okay with that. Just do it better. Do it better than you did.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. The next thing I have is it was announced this week that Microsoft and Discord have teamed up to integrate Discord into the Xbox One, giving players more options on how to play and communicate with their friends online. Now, this feature is not yet available. Within the coming weeks, Xbox owners will be able to link their accounts to their Discord servers to prepare for a full launch. Thoughts on that? I mean, how do you think that's going to improve what everyone's already doing currently with their platforms?
You can talk to PCs, maybe?
You think so?
Yeah.
Maybe like cross-platform connectivity?
That'd be the only thing, because you already have that really with just a party chat.
Mm-hmm.
But that adds PC, I think. That's the way I think they're looking at it.
What do you think, Ezilii?
Well, as a Discord partner, more the merrier.
Yeah.
Well, isn't Sea of Thieves cross-platform? Wasn't there like a way, there was like a problem where they couldn't talk to each other for a while?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. So is Xbox and PC, correct?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because that's only to its own.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So, I mean, it might help that connectivity, connectivity like that. Because I know that somebody was complaining about it, and I was like, I don't want to deal with that. I won't try that game right now. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. And I like, on the PlayStation, I have a Twitch app to pull up.
So
gives you other options, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The next story I have almost kind of borderlines into our rumors, but I felt like it was kind of beefy enough to kind of hold off on its own, so I just kind of added it. So it's a precursor to our full rumors. There's a rumor going around that Final Fantasy VII Remake is in pretty bad shape, like nearly not as far along as we were led to believe. The story suggests that Square Enix outsourced a portion of the game to CyberConnect 2, but were so impressed with their work that they tossed it all in the garbage and started from scratch. There was also a Reddit thread where one of the game's art directors, Dan Sukasa, seemingly confirmed the poor quality from CyberConnect. However, and this is where it becomes rumor territory, all of this came down to the wire, or once it all came down to the wire, Sukasa's social media accounts were deleted, which leads me to believe it could have been a troll.
Could have been.
Just coming in there, starting some Reddit garbage, and then it's like, nope, I was never here.
Or somebody that works for them and they're not supposed to say anything.
Well, that was one of the statements he made is, I can't tell you who I work for. I could get into a lot of trouble. So it's possible. I don't know. What do you think?
I could totally see that happening.
I mean, I've been looking forward to the game, but it's been so quiet. We've not heard anything for a while.
Yeah.
See it happening where they put their trust in another company and then it all kind of fell through, or the troll trying to start rumors?
I could see the company, or I guess Square Enix, not being impressed with the work they did and just scrapping it.
According to some of the things that I found out, CyberConnect has a reputation for shoddy work, which kind of makes me wonder why they even outsourced to them in the first place. If that's their notability, or notoriety for that matter, why did you go with them?
Yeah, that's the $1 million question.
Sometimes it's cheaper to pay another company to do it, and they probably were enticed by a very convenient price, if that's the case.
Yeah.
I mean, it's business, right?
Yeah.
They still got to make business. Otherwise, the game's going to be $200 when it's out.
All right. Rumor time. Only got 3 outside
Just
of that
3?
one. Just 3. It was very quiet on the rumor front, unless you wanted to start rumoring about Fortnite and PUBG, which I'm so tired of talking about.
Yeah, I've heard, is Fortnite on its way out?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's Fortnite and PUBG all the time now. All right, we're talking about it. Stop. Rumors. The next Xbox will focus on streaming and backward compatibility. True or false?
Definitely true.
Backward compatibility in what way? Just always integrating their games?
I say that's going to be a big thing for everybody because that when they brought out the PS4 Pro, they started talking about that forward compatibility. So it's almost like from here on out, anything we have is going to go forward. Yeah. It felt like, so, who knows?
Okay.
Well, there should always be some level of forward compatibility, although, a 10-year-old game that was released on like a PS3 should still work on the 4.
Right.
But when it's 30 years, it might not work on like the PS22, right?
Oh my God, I hope there's not a PS22.
We'll be long gone before that.
I hope to God they pick some other kind of name by then.
But what works today should, in theory, work in the future on a console, in my opinion. When they would change from one cartridge to another to another to another, right? That's when you had the problem of compatibility. But then when it was DVD source material, a DVD still stays the same. It's the same stuff. So at that point, it was the coding and the architecture. So maybe from 1632 to 64-bit to HD 4K, etc. I mean, there might be something like that, but I mean, if that rumor is true, which focus on streaming, like streaming the game from a cloud or streaming as in I stream on Twitch type streaming.
Yeah.
Which type streaming is it?
There's people that stream off an Xbox.
They just said streaming. So I would assume off the Xbox.
Well, Microsoft owns Mixer.
Yeah, so it would probably integrate Mixer into the next Xbox to try and make it more palatable.
Well, it's already in there now.
Well, yeah, but if you're building the hardware around it,
but
I would think that would. I mean, maybe. I mean, would that really limit the gaming space? Probably not.
No.
But in terms of websites, it's YouTube, Twitch, and then Mixer's way at the bottom behind like Ustream or something. It's kind of silly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Microsoft has done crazier
far
things.
Sillier.
So. Speaking of which, they're also rumored to be reviving the Bloodforge franchise.
Bloodforge?
Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
I don't know.
I think it died somewhere. And I was just like, all right, yay.
They started making it but never put it out.
Yeah. And the last one I have is that Call of Duty Battle Royale is possibly coming to the Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
I could see that being true.
Yeah.
Everyone needs to get on
the Call of Duty Battle Royale.
Yeah. Tell us about that. Is there?
I haven't played it, but yes, there is a Battle Royale, and I believe that I was listening to Ubisoft talk, and they said that by next year that every first-person shooter will have a Battle Royale mode.
Yeah, probably. I could see that. Yeah.
We're all going to be burned out, I'm telling you.
No, I just won't play them.
No, I won't even.
I'll play the story mode.
Now there needs to be a City Skylines Battle Royale.
Yeah.
I would watch that. Your city could battle another city.
Yeah. Who can build it the fastest?
And have their own army,
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Not really, but.
All right. A few bits of weird news. Even though they're not as weird as usual, they're just...
You're slacking in the weird news, man.
No one has topped the Luigi story. It's just...
Oh, I've got one weird news for you. I just want to show you a picture. It's just to describe it is a picture of Kratos from God of War, shaved.
Okay.
He His beard is gone. Go. Boom. There you go. He looks weird, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Yeah, that's odd.
Yeah.
That's very
He needs
odd.
That's
the
weird
beard.
news for you.
Okay.
And you can put that picture up somewhere.
All right. So everybody look up Kratos shaved.
Yeah, he looks weird.
Mm-hmm. Maybe we'll share it on the
Like, why would you do that though? You know, like who? I'm just gonna shave Kratos and put it on.
People
Yeah.
have done crazy. They shaved Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
Again.
I seen a thing that said that's not weird, Kratos not having a beard, but you shave Luigi and Mario, oh, you're gonna have people go crazy.
Well, funny enough, you should say stuff like that.
I just led into it for you.
No, it's not about shaving them. So during an interview while out promoting his new film, Ready Player One, Steven Spielberg was quoted as saying something a bit weird. He was asked about his experiences with VR, since that's a heavy influence in the movie, and he was quoted as saying he played Mario at PlayStation. Now, one thing to note here is that this was an overseas interview where his answers were actually being translated via Google Translate. And don't forget that we've mentioned on the show before that in Japan there is an actual Mario Kart VR in an arcade somewhere.
Right.
So, the question is, did he actually play Mario in VR? Or is he just one of those old fuddy-duddies that gets names wrong and be like, I like that Halloween movie with that Jason character in it?
That Nintendo, that's what my daddy used to call it. Nintendo.
I think that they probably mistranslated.
That's
Because
what I
if you
think.
actually read through a lot of the text, some of it just didn't make sense.
He might not have he might have just said it wrong.
Maybe he said, I played Mario, I played VR, and then it just kind of smushed it together.
Played VR on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Played Mario
Well, I mean,
and
he's
VR
a pretty
on PlayStation.
intelligent person.
Yeah. So I don't feel like he said that.
So are we all in agreement that it's just translation?
Translation.
Translation.
I agree.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah, or it's like he doesn't really play video games, but I'm pretty sure he does play a little something. Everybody does, even if they claim they don't too. They've done it. They just don't realize they've done it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I feel like he would at least know the difference between who's who. At
Yeah.
least that.
He knows
Everybody
Sony.
knows
Come
Mario. Now, the next one, it's an interesting little story. I've actually got to go look this up myself. There's a YouTuber by the name of, who goes by the name of Impap. I guess I'm saying that right, just Impap. Has pulled off a remarkable feat by defeating Mike Tyson's Punch-Out blindfolded.
Oh, Jesus Christ. How
Okay.
in the world did you do that?
Now, he's a professional speedrunner gamer who has been studying sound patterns and strategies from the game, and actually from other gamers who do the same thing, trying to learn their moves and study their techniques. So after he figured all this out and got all the sound cues down, he pulled this amazing feat off and did it within 21 minutes.
Wow.
21 minutes.
All blindfolded.
Damn.
And you can go to his YouTube channel right now and check it out.
That is
Impact.
nice.
Yeah. I would actually like to see it, how he pulled that off. Because
I'd like
some
to
of the
see it not
just-
blindfolded.
Just thinking of Punch-Out with the sound cues, I don't know. I don't recall there being that many other than a few little things here or there.
There were some, like they would make
Yeah,
it.
but I felt like they were few and far between enough to...
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just
Well,
timing, maybe.
the
patterns.
mysterious thing about sound is that you half the time don't remember or recognize that it's there, but your mind knows it.
Yeah.
That's a great sound designer will. You won't know they're there, but you're going to appreciate the sound.
For sure. All right. I got some awesome stuff, maybe.
Oh, so I get to choose.
Yeah, and easily can...
Yeah,
she
she can
might
choose.
actually be on my side.
Awesome.
We're gonna see if this is awesome.
What's
or not.
awesome?
Awesome Stuff is a new segment I found, or I started, where I find some unique little piece of memorabilia or something like that and try to see if it'll pique your interest. Something that you might actually want to go out and buy.
And we get to judge whether it's awesome.
Well,
or not.
he's been judging. You're
Yeah.
the
Whether
first
it's
person.
awesome or not? Okay.
Yeah, if you think it's awesome. So the Hallmark Company is synonymous with greeting cards, and they also do collectibles. Don't you start. Such collectibles that you can get are well-crafted Christmas ornaments. Okay?
Okay.
This year, why not decorate your Christmas tree with a little bit of gaming flair? Hallmark is releasing 3 special Nintendo ornaments for the holiday season. The first is a Mario Kart themed ornament with Mario driving his kart and holding a checkered flag. The next one features Link in a crouched defensive stance. And the last is a Donkey Kong arcade cabinet, which may or may not play sound effects.
I want the Donkey Kong one. Awesome.
Okay. Hallmark has actually released other game-themed ornaments in the past based on Pac-Man and Galaga, very much in the same vein as the Donkey Kong arcade cabinet. There's no word on price, but Mario and Link will be available this July, and Donkey Kong will be available in October. Do you want it?
I want the Donkey Kong one.
Ezilii, do you want it?
It's nerdy enough, yes.
Okay. So we're going with awesome. We have to lump them all together.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thumbs up.
Woohoo! I do want to know what sound effects they'll use for the little arcade cabinet, though.
Yeah.
Just maybe the music. Music would be good.
No, don't do something like that, though.
Something like that. I don't know.
Probably like the load-up screen chime.
Oh, yeah. That would be good.
I just want the cabinet. It doesn't even have to make a sound.
Well, you just got to ruin it.
No, I'm just saying, I don't care what the sound is, really. I just want the cabinet.
Let's see. I've actually got a topic this week, and I'm kind of curious to get some opinions on this because I've kind of held off on this one. I felt like it's kind of a universal topic we could bring up at any point. Some time ago, there was a Twitter discussion about game preservation. I kind of made a note of it. Not sure who all was involved, but the idea was that video games needed to be preserved much like film. However, one person argued that digital form, much like they're doing now with virtual consoles, is not a proper form of preservation. He stated that every aspect about it needed to be preserved, right down to the very controller they were played on. So my question is, I got 3. Do video games need to be preserved like films? Does digital preservation count? And do controllers make a difference?
Yes. Hell yes, controllers make a difference. I don't like playing Mario 1 unless it's with that old-ass Nintendo controller.
Okay.
Video games are art. So I like in video games, and when I'm playing Cities and Coaster and other creative games, I'm making art. My degree is in fine art. So it's near and dear to my heart. So yes, they need to be preserved. I would also go so far as to say the console, the controller, and the cartridge should also be preserved. However, at some point in time, due to the fact that the world is how the world works, we might lose that magnetic data that's on that cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
So digital preservation is definitely something that's key. But yeah, I mean, yes, and yes. In a museum, if I walked up into a museum and I wanted to play the original Mario, I would want the controller experience.
Right.
And putting it into, the Nintendo, right? The cartridge, blowing on the cartridge, sticking it in, and be like, all right, let's go and play it, right?
It always worked.
That would be awesome.
Now, here's a side question I've kind of thought about. Do we preserve every game? Or
No.
are there some that we just say, no, I can let that one go?
There's like a top 100,
Mm-hmm. What would
Really?
be?
Only a top 100?
I'm just saying for each brand, I guess, or for each console.
Because because at some point you're going to be limiting
what game
what
would
you
you
put
not
in there.
preserve?
That would be, I don't know, like, I would say,
Sports games, other than like the first one? Like, this is how clunky it was?
I have no clue, like, which one I'm sure that I'd be like, okay, like, you can't, don't do that one.
Yeah.
That one is terrible. Don't do that one. Like
Double
Aquaman.
Dribble. Wasn't that on
Double Dribble.
Nintendo?
Double Dribble is good, though. That's a
Corner
good
three.
That was a good that's a good basketball game.
That's right. But,
Like,
mean,
even
but yes,
Joust.
I would
Like,
agree they have
Joust
to
is
be
a good
preserved.
game.
okay, how about this? Top 5 that must go in.
Of course, like Mario Brothers.
Super Mario Brothers would have to go in. I feel like it's
Sin
the
City.
game that like really made the mark for everything that it is now.
Frogger.
Yeah.
Frogger.
Yeah.
I would put
Pitfall.
Frogger. Pitfall. You say Pitfall? Exactly.
Okay.
Frogger and Pitfall would have to be in there.
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man, definitely. Donkey
Yeah,
Kong.
but isn't that
Okay.
technically still preserved?
Then that would be 5.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
we're
but
screwed
that's-
already. We're out of slots.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we would purchase 5 more with a loot box.
that we have a 10% chance of winning.
Yeah.
Just the loot box.
You're gonna get
and
one
another
spot,
1/1,000,000th
definitely.
chance to win.
So I mean,
There's
just
that.
just in trying to find the top 5 right there, that shows how hard that would actually be to try and narrow down which ones need to be preserved.
It would be easier to
That's the thing,
find
yeah.
a few that don't need to be preserved, I think.
Probably. Because I don't think anyone's going to be disappointed if the fidget spinner
Yeah, they don't need to be
Steam
preserved.
PC game doesn't make it in.
There was a pinball marble game. God, it was on Nintendo.
Marble Madness.
Yeah,
Yes. I remember
I've
that.
got that right over there.
That was a good game.
that's got to be preserved.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That took some skill.
It sure did, dude. That game pissed me off like just about a year, 2 years ago, something like that. It pissed me off.
Well, it was groundbreaking with the physics.
I remember
Yeah.
the commercial for it.
They don't make game commercials like that anymore.
No, they're just like trailers pretty much.
Yeah. But games are more cinematic now.
Yeah.
Maybe Blizzard would make one. Like, I expect to see some WoW commercials come out for the new expansion.
Yeah.
We actually seen that at PAX, didn't we?
Which one? Oh, the World of Warcraft?
Yeah, the new expansion.
Yeah. Sure did. They had a big old
For
booth.
the Horde.
Yeah, there's a lot of people over there.
For the Horde.
Yeah. All right. Well, we've pretty much nailed that down. Preservation counts.
Yes,
It's
definitely.
a definite.
And it's an art. I like how she said it's an art.
It is
I
an
hate
art.
when they say that it's not art.
I think a lot of
Well,
people.
Do you know how many artists are employed per game? Like, even on an indie one, it's very rare that you get something like Shining Rock, who is one guy that built Banished. It's very rare that you get one person building Stardew Valley. Most games employ at least 2 to a gazillion artists.
Right.
Even an independent title might still have 10 different artists. And I'm talking sound, environment, character, animation.
Yeah. It's insane.
In the membrane.
Boop, boop. All right. Release dates. What do we got coming up?
Well, God of War just came out, so nothing.
Well, you're probably right.
Yeah?
May
Well, there's
1st, we have Super Mega Baseball 2
Yes, I'm excited about that. I love the first one.
for PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. What is Super Mega Baseball 2?
I don't know, man. It felt like a beefed up version, like old school RBI baseball. But the thing that got me hooked on it was the pitching. Like, you could, one button actually made you throw harder. You know what I mean? Like, and you had this, the way they did like the meter to do it, like it shrunk down, and you had to get the ball like just perfect, you know, and it would throw even harder. And it was just a cool little like mechanic.
So it was like NBA Jam for baseball?
No. You know, they had big bats and stuff like that, and the characters, you know, had afros and like just big butts, you know, if they were women.
NBA Jam for baseball?
Not really. I wouldn't call it NBA Jam because, okay, it was NBA Jam
Okay,
for
thank
baseball.
On May 4th, we have Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze for the Nintendo Switch, which is
Again.
a remake or port or something of that nature. And that's really the only releases we got. But there are the Xbox games with gold for May. We have Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, coming for Xbox One on May 16th through June 15th.
I don't like that they do that.
I know. And then they have Super Mega Baseball 2
Yeah, they're gonna
coming for Xbox One for May 1st through the 31st. Then for 360, we have Sega Vintage Collection Streets of Rage for on May 1st through the 15th. Then Vanquish on May 16th through the 31st.
Did you ever play Vanquish?
I did not.
It was okay.
What is Vanquish?
It was just a shooter, like a sci-fi shooter, I think, and you did a lot of sliding. That was the first game I remember doing a lot of sliding and shooting at the same time. I didn't play the whole thing.
Sliding and shooting. That
Yeah.
sounds boring.
That was like, it was okay. It was all right.
And on Sony or PlayStation Plus games for May. On PlayStation 4, we have Beyond Two Souls and Rayman Legends. PlayStation 3, there's Risen 3, Titan Lords, and Eat Them. I don't know what that is.
A bunch of donuts.
Okay. And then on the PlayStation Vita, we have King Oddball and Furmans.
And King Oddball is also cross-buy for PS4 also, I think.
Okay. Well, that is all the news, all the stuff that we have. That is our show.
That is the entire show.
That is
and
the
a
entire
round of applause
show.
for our special guest.
Uh-huh. My hands
We're
are...
clapping in circles. Let's notice this.
We'd like to thank all of our listeners for being here every week. Your love and support is greatly appreciated. Big thanks to our patrons who make this show and other shows we do possible. If you're interested in supporting the show, head over to patreon.com/Pencil and Paper Productions. You can also follow the show on Twitter at Super Mega Crash. Like and leave reviews on iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, wherever you listen to the podcast. We love to hear from you. Thank you so much for listening. I am Stephen White.
I'm Todd Stark.
Ezilii, tell everyone where they can find you on the social medias.
You can find me at watch_EZILII on Twitter, and then twitch.tv/EZILII, and YouTube is youtube.com/EZILII.
Got that, people?
Very simple.
Write it down. Take a picture.
Write it down. I'll even post links down in the doobly-doo below so you can find her there.
The what?
The doobly-doo.
Is that's an area?
That's a thing.
That's like below what?
The video.
Below the video is the doobly-doo. So if I go somewhere and I say like
It's between
right there in the
between the
doobly-doo,
video-
they're gonna look at me and go, what the hell are
It's
you
between
talking
the
about?
video and the comments. It's the doobly-doo area.
That's the doobly-doo.
The doobly-doo.
That's right.
I'm glad you told me that.
I'm glad
I
to
never
educate
knew
today.
that my entire life that's what that area was called.
Now you know.
The doobly-doo.
the
That's right.
doobly-doo.
Join us again next time, Super Mega Crash siblings. But until then, game on.